What's classy if you're physically attractive but trashy if you're not? The plot of almost all romance movies. I like to use what I call the DeVito rule. If a romance movie becomes a horror movie by recasting the lead man as Danny Devito, it's a shitty example of a romance movie. If it's still a sweet movie, it's really romance. Not many movies pass this test. I think Danny DeVito is possibly the most mentioned person in this thread. Poor guy is just someone everyone agrees isn't attractive and easily identifiable. Hanging out with ugly people. This one made me laugh. It's so true. If you're attractive and hang out with ugly people, you just look like a well-rounded individual who's open to all types company, including the uglies. Yup, and as an ugly person, you just look like another ugly person within a group of misfits. Joy. It's good to be the best looking person in a group. I imagine I was on the cusp of the D&D, magic type scene, played 40k, and you should see what happens to a guy or girl who's normally say a 5/10 in that scene. They get swarmed on big time, especially the girls. Although weirdly, you can be too attractive. If someone is a 7/10 plus, there will be instant suspicion of why they are there. Wife beaters. If Channing Tatum wears one, girls swoon. If Uncle Randy is wearing one, you expect him to also be holding a bush light and sitting on the front porch of his mobile home with a shotgun on his lap. I thought you meant men that beat their wives, but then I kept reading. Edit. A wife beater is a sleeveless shirt that has a negative stigma attached to it. Edit. As a few people are pointing out, I guess beating your wife still fits the criteria. Frown. A 4-day beard. If you're a male model, you look like a manly man. If you're Bubba Six-Pack, you look like a homeless dude. I'm already alone, so I'm content being homeless. You'd feel more alone without a home. It pains me to say it, but smoking. Those 1940s Hollywood noir film actresses looked so sultry with a cigarette. Fat and ugly with a cigarette is more reminiscent of a Walmart smoke break for some reason. Cleavage. Definitely, I've always seen it as part of the big boobs, small boobs paradox. Big boobs fill out any top and look good, but if you show too much, it can look really provocative. Small boobs aren't as noticeable in an obvious way, but you can get away with lower necklines and show more collarbone. Both are boobs and therefore great. Basically any bold move towards the opposite sex. I see what you mean. Some girl posted a comment on our Ask Men about how some guy at the gym approached her to compliment her. She said that at first she thought he was a creep, but after taking a good look at him she was totally okay with it because she found him kinda cute. You should have seen the amount of downvotes and negative replies she received. She was basically saying that if a guy isn't attractive but still flirts with a girl, it automatically makes him a creep. It's mean, but yet it is many people's first thought in that scenario. A guy I knew once added my friend, who was a girl, on Facebook randomly one day and started chatting with her and said he had found her because he saw her with me and looked through my entire list of friends to find her. She told me this, mentioning that it was really weird and creepy. 1 week later, they were dating, because he was kinda cute. Getting out of a small car, whether it's a Porsche or a Fiat. If you are attractive, you look natural and sexy, stepping out. If you're ugly or large, you look like one of the last clowns falling out of the clown car. At me being 6'4" and looking like a giraffe with mild downs. Edit. Holy shit, my first gold. Thank you, stranger. Can't wait to tell the rest of the guys in my tower. A pack of giraffes. Wearing a fucking tight t-shirt. Edit. Since this seems to trigger a lot of people, a t-shirt wasn't necessarily what I meant. What I meant were clothes that suit and fit you well, mostly tight clothes though because they highlight a good body. Gotta get a t-shirt that is tight on the chest and arms and loose on the stomach area. sending a drink to a random woman across the bar. Many shifts as a bartender, and when a less than good looking bloke wanted to do it, I said it was against policy too. I've never seen it end well unless the dude was really handsome. What if the unattractive guy wanted to send a drink to an equally unattractive woman? Ugly people don't like ugly people, either. Never happens. Source: unattractive woman. No one has ever bought me a drink. That's because the unattractive dudes trying to send you drinks are getting blocked by that goddamn bartender. Think of all the drinks you've been denied. Was on a double date 3+ years ago. The other guy and I left the girls at the bar to play a round of arcade games. As we're playing, 3 guys walk in and see 2 apparently single women sitting at the bar. They order 5 shots of tequila and tell the bartender to leave it with the girls. I assume they were planning on walking over as soon as the girls got the tequila, taking the shots with them, looking all cool and sexy, except me and the other guy got back to the bar as soon as the shots arrived. The bartender didn't specify where they came from, so we each took a shot, gave the 5th to the bartender, and thanked him. He said, "Don't thank me, it's on those guys." And we looked behind him to see the 3 amigos looking like kids who just had recess cancelled. Tried thanking them on the way out, but they just smiled sadly and nodded. I still feel bad about it to this day. A backless dress. True. Whenever I see pretty women in one, everyone will compliment HWR, but when I wear one, everyone says, "So you shouldn't wear that and at least shave first." An accent from anywhere in America. If you're good looking, it's sexy or sweet. If you're rich, it makes you seem genuine. If you're broken or unfortunate looking, you're just a dumb hick, and the accent is proof. Edit: since this is my most upvoted comment, a little clarification. Yes, I'm from Ohio, and no, I don't mean just southern accents. I live and grew up in the dead center of Ohio, where accents literally come to die, so I'm sensitive to them all, from the up north states and the nasally almost Canadian accent, to the northeastern, also nasal accent with their allergy to the letter R, to California's laid-back enunciated drawl, and yes, the slow, southern drawls. The above applies. My grandparents are from W.Va, and I love hearing their accents. Hearing them discuss washing the car and changing the oil is like grilled cheese and tomato soup for my ears. Accents fare pretty well in Ohio bars. You become an instant object of fascination. Smiling. Life is a little easier for attractive people. Can we admit that? Think about it. If a stranger smiles at you and they're attractive, you think, "Oh, they're nice." But if the stranger's ugly, you're like, "What do they want? Get away from me, weirdo." Jim Gaffigan. As someone who's gone from chubby to fit, I can confirm smiling looks way better when you're fit. Dude, same. My colleague and I were just discussing this. I lost like 50 pounds between a summer and a semester abroad, and when I came back, the frat boys that had been in my classes for 2 years were suddenly, "Oh wow, you're so smart and funny." It was like straight out of Bobby's Boobs episode of South Park. I personally am very thankful, though I spent all those years chubby, because that sort of attention from boys at a young age can turn you into a real asshole. You know what's weird? If you're a guy, other straight guys will give you more attention. They all of a sudden want to be your friend. It's a little odd, cues they're not gay, and you get way more callbacks for interviews. I wouldn't say classy per se, but a tank top. Imagine Ryan Gosling in a tank top. Now imagine Danny Devito in that same tank top. Both in the same tank top would really stretch out the neck hole. Pretty much anything you do, TBH. Yep, even doing things that are embarrassing turns into endearing if the person is very attractive, and just cringy and awkward if an ugly person does it. It's genuinely fascinating how strongly people's attractiveness influences our perception of everything they do. People joke, but this is honestly what is boiled down to. Also, a lot of things people define as cringy could be suave or funny if you look more like Chris Evans and less like a chewed Muppet. I am a chewed Muppet with a muffin top. The other Muppets dance, but all I can do is Muppet flop. Tattoos, smoking, belly shirts, Yeah, pretty much anything. Eating out of bird feeders. When a pretty bird like a cardinal, finch, or hummingbird do it, everyone loves it. When I do it, people get pissed because I'm in their yard eating out of their bird feeder. Biting your lip. Imagine a young, attractive lady biting her lip at you. Classy and sexy. Now imagine a 40-year-old overweight man biting his lip at you. Creepy as hell. If you're a guy, going shirtless. It's the same with girls. Greater than think versus model versus warm-up material.